Is my screen is visible and I'm audible? Am I audible?
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, great. Okay. So far what we have seen till that just now is we have seen the scars and we are getting with the search API, and we have seen this is not secure because whatever the search you made, you will be visible into your URL. So whoever your network provider, they can go and check it out what are the URLs you are searching and what are the kind of things which you are saving. So this is how a get API is meant to be. So what are the values you are giving? It will be directly there in your URL, and this is not highly secure. Okay, this are all good for getting data from your server. Okay, if you want to download some files or if you want to do something over there, you can do. But let's say you want to do some kind of activities where now you want to log into to your Facebook or log into your bank account is in using your internet or like internet or like mobile transactions like that you want to do. So in that case, what mostly we will be using is the post API. So if you are going with the post API, it will not put everything into the URL. It will put something into a JSON body. Okay, we'll comment out and we'll show it when once we are putting into the post method. So it will not be visible in your URL. Okay, in the case of post, it will not be visible into your URL. So the data will be hidden into your post body. So you cannot leak some data if you are doing with the post API. So if you are going to have some like authentication, login, any kind of stuff which is going to deal with the privacy of data, that kind of details you need to get using only the post API or kind of a post method, not using a get method. Okay. Still now clear any doubts? If you can say yes or no, I can proceed. Uh, and if you have any doubts, I can explain. Any doubts till now? I'm going to wait until someone confirms like you understand or not. So or else I'll be waiting. So can like is everyone are clear with whatever I said till now? Then I will go move on to the next thing. So or not, if you can like you can ask your doubts so that I can clarify and we can move on. Like if it is okay, fine, we can go to the next topics. So far, any doubts?
No doubts.
No doubts.
Okay. So can this be a more interactive session? Like I don't want to talk a lot, but I don't want to you guys to listen. So whenever you have doubts, just say, or if I'm asking you, listen. Like if you have no doubts or not, just kindly give me a back reply in a short time. Okay. It will be pretty good for me as well as for you guys. Okay. I assume you guys will do in the next things. Okay. So this is how API will look like. Okay. So there are certain frameworks. Framework is like predefined rules which was available for you, or some kind of predefined code which is available for you. Using that framework, what you can usually do is you can write on the top of your framework your code, and you can easily do whatever works you want. You can do it with your framework. Okay. So to write APIs using Python, there are like lots of frameworks like Django, Flask, Bottle, Fast APIs. There are like lots and lots of framework which are available. One of the like these two are most highly used now in nowadays. So one is Django and one is Flask. Like if you go with the Django is it is like superset. Like you can have, like you can think of like Django. It is going to give everything for you. So it is going to give you every options for you up and front. It will be available for you. So if you are going for a higher application, like a huge application, something like Amazon, Facebook, something like that, you can go with Django. Or in the case of you are writing a small application for some small client, like you are writing some application for a store which is available in your area, or some kind of a medium application where else you don't have like more than 50 or 50 plus APIs, you can go with Flask. So Flask, the development time is too small, and that is a lightweight, so it will be even little faster when you're comparing with the Django. Okay, so these are the frameworks which are available. So in this session, we are going to go through only Flask, because most applications which you wrote from the scratch, you can do it with the Flask. Only huge applications like Amazon's or something else, which can still do with Flask, but it is better to go with something called Django or other things. But we like most of the time you don't write that much of huge level of application, so we'll go with the Flask. Okay, so first, we'll see how to install Flask to our Python. Okay, so I will close this one. I will jump to my CLI back. Okay, so this is my command line. So I have activated my virtual environment. I hope you guys are clear with what is virtual environment. So first of all, what I need is I need to have my Flask packages so that I can use my Flask within my local. Okay, so for that, what you can do is there is something called pip. Pip is like a maybe you have heard of npm in JavaScript. So it is like a installer for you, same like npm. So what you can use pip. You can do pip, and then you can put install and whatever packages you want to install. Okay, for now we need Flask. So I need Flask, so I'm putting it. And if you know specific versions, like you want to use 0.0.1, you can give the version. But you are not clear with the version, you want the latest one. What you can do is you can simply do pip install Flask. So what it will basically do is it will go download your Flask package from the internet, and it will install you the Flask. So I have Flask installed with me. So it is saying this is already installed. Okay, this is how you can install the Flask into your local machine. Right now, still till now, any doubts?
No.
No doubts. Okay, so this is how you can install your Flask. Okay, so we'll go with the first example. Okay, so the first one is what we are going to do is we are going to write a small API, like how we'll do, right? We'll the first program will do like hello world. So like that, we need to write some API. Okay, this is the first API program. So what I'm doing is from Flask, I'm importing my Flask package. Okay, this is the package name, and this is what I need to import from that. This is my class name. Okay, this is Flask is a class. Okay, you already know what is a class. Okay, this line you can able to understand. I'm going to create a constructor. So I'm going to create an object of this Flask. So it is going to create me an object, and the object name I'm saving as app application. Okay, so I'm just importing the Flask application, and then what I'm doing is I'm creating an object for this particular class called Flask, and I'm saving this object into a name called app. Okay, and what I'm doing next is maybe this line is pretty similar, right? You have seen this line, these two lines. This is a function. I have written hello world as a function. I'm just returning something, a string called hello comma world. So I'm just returning string hello world to the user. So who are going to call this endpoint, they will get the result back of hello world. So this is how you can write a function. Okay, what you need to do now is you need to somehow export the function as an API. Okay, you need to make this function into an API. So to convert this function into an API, what you can do is you can write this method, write this line on the top of your function. You can write something called, this is like a decorator. What you can do is from app, take out this route method and do this route. Okay, so what I'm doing is this route is like in our example we have seen here, right? This search is our route. So what you see dot search, is coming in our route for now. Okay, so this is your route. So inside that application, where is the thing I want to route? Route is like redirecting something. You can take it like redirecting. So for now I'm just giving a plain slash, which in the case if someone hits my direct server, so like a default home page, just show them, return them this hello world string. Okay, this is how this is what this 3 lines of code is meant to be. So this app.route is going to route this function to this particular URL. If someone hits this particular URL called slash after a host and port, it is going to execute this method. Okay, and then it will return you back what is the data you have. Okay, so this is what these 3 lines are going to do for you. Okay, now we have wrote our first API. This is your first API code. Okay, just an hello world API. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to run your code. Okay, to run your application, what you can do is you can do like app.run. In the app object, which is the object of the Flask class, you have a method called run. Okay, what this run will do is it is going to run your Flask server, and it is going to expose some API endpoints into your local machine. Okay, so now we have only one method which is going to listen for this particular slash. Okay, and then we are running our application. Okay, let me run this program now. Okay, Python app.py. So I'm running this. So previously, if we run right, we will see only our print statements. But if you see over here, you can seeing like you can see something, so like something you have not seen till yet. Okay, you can see like serving the Flask app. Okay, it is serving this app object, and then it is saying like this is running with the production. Like don't worry about this, and don't worry about this for now. Okay, we'll take it as a last topic. Okay, and it this 3 lines just forgot about now, and it is telling this debug mode is off. So it is telling your Flask application is running, and it is running without the debug mode, and it is telling it is running on this particular URL. Okay, this is running on your local host. It is this 127.0.0.1 is your local host, and this is your port. Port is like you want to run more and more of application in your local machine, which you cannot do if you have only host, because you can run only one program in an API. What you can do is you want to segregate your application, you want to run 2 or 3 applications. What you can do is you can use this segregation using this host and post combination. Okay, so for now our API is running with HTTP localhost 5000. Okay, so we'll go to this one. I don't know why it is jumping over there. We'll go to this one. So I'm going to hit my localhost URL. This is http:// localhost, and which is 5000. Okay, so this is where my API server is running now. Okay, I'm going to hit this URL, and you can see my hello world is coming as a response. Okay, this is a get API. So since we are having just a slash over here, it is defaultly connecting to your home page, like which is your direct host and port, so that this hello world is returning back to you. Okay, so let's do some kind of steps now. Okay, so I'm changing that this. So to make sure it is called, we are just printing it's called. Okay, and we are changing that it is like welcome. Okay, so this route we have changed into welcome. Okay, and now we are saying that it is print, and then we are putting this is print, like we are just saying that called print. Okay, and then we are returning just the hello world back again the same. Now if you save the program, you can see still your application is running. Okay, you want to close this, you want to stop it, and then you want to rerun this, so that your changes which you do now will reflect. Okay, whenever you do changes, what you need to do is you need to stop this application, and then you need to stop the server, and then you need to rerun back your server. Okay, so that is a tedious job, right? You don't want to do it again and again. So instead of that, what you can do is while you are running it, okay, you can do one parameter. This is a run method, right? So for this method, we are giving one more argument called debug, which we are giving as true. Okay, so now if we run this now, I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to run this. Okay, I'm going to run with the debug option of true. Now you can see like debug is active. So debug mode, it is on. So whenever, like, if I change something, like if I give extra space and it is telling that server is running same again, this is the only line change you have now. Okay, if I save it again, you can see like some kind of changes is happening and it is rerunning again. So it is, you can see like restarting with the stats and the debugging, and it is happening. So if whenever your debug mode is on, if you change something in a particular file, it will restart again the server with your with your saved changes, your latest changes. Okay, so this debugging option will be very useful when you are developing some applications, when you are in the phase of development. But once you develop and you want to deploy this and you want to make this, like you want to host this so that your user can use this, at that point of time you don't want this debug equal to true, because it will consume a lot of memory. Okay, just remember this debug equal to true is only when you are developing, you are writing a code. Once your whole code is written and everything is working fine, you need to take it out this debug equal to true true line, or else it will make your whole code to work slow. Okay, remember that. Now what we have done is we have changed the route to welcome. Okay, and then we are printing this call and then we are returning back the same hello world. So if I go now, if I refresh it, you can see this URL is not found because we don't have anything with respect to the slash. So now we have something called slash welcome. Now our route is slash welcome. So if I give slash route and if I give enter, I can see able to see this hello world is coming. Okay, and here it is printing the call. Okay, so whenever you are hitting that correct endpoint, so this is a kind of API which you are hitting. This all goes belongs to a get API. Okay, remember that. So if you hit that correct API, it is going to execute that method which is according to the route, and it is going to work everything, and it will return back what is written back to the user. Kind. Till now, any doubt? We have seen how to write a get API and how to invoke or how to hit that get API to see the result. Basic get API and also route. So far, any doubts? I will not. I will not tell. I will not go to the next topic until Arnold says yes or no. I'll wait.
Yes, no doubts.
Okay, but you can tell it at the start of time when I asked. Okay, but I don't want the same person to say again and again this is. So maybe every one of you can say at least an yes or no. Okay, so that I also get to know whether you guys are understanding or not. If you're not understanding, I will again go and tell the same topic again and again. Okay. So, and you can see this line is printed. Okay, this particular line is printed. It is giving us some insights. Okay, it is telling the get API has been invoked to this particular endpoint, and it is giving you something called 200. Okay, which this 200 is a status code or something. Whenever you hit an API, you will get something called a status code back to the client. Okay, who is receiving, who are sitting, they will get something back to the client. Okay, using the status code they can get to know whether that API which we invoke has run successfully or not. If it is 200, which in the case means this API has been called successfully and it has been invoked successfully. Okay, if it is not a 200, so then it is something else. Then you can say it is like this API has been not invoked successfully. Okay, let me go to my debug option. I will refresh this, and okay, this is particular. Okay, I need to take this. Okay, I'm just refreshing it now. So this welcome is coming, right? You can see this 200 okay is coming. Okay, which means our API has been invoked correctly, and we have a particular API for that particular okay. And I'm just changing to welcome one. So if you put welcome one, and you can see something called 404 not found. So this is the status code. If the API is not there, it will give you back 404. If the API is there and it is perfectly working fine, it will give you 200. Okay, these are some of the status code which will be useful for you guys to debug your APIs. So if someone says your API is not working, you can directly ask them, what is the status code you got back? Oh, is 404 error? Then you are hitting API which is not at all there. But it's a 200, then you can say this API is totally fine. This is working fine. And there are lots and lots of status code which you can go on when you are like going to the next topics. Okay, and so far you are clear. Okay, and you can see the same status code you are getting printed over here. Okay, so far clear with how to just print a welcome on your like how to just send back a welcome to the client. Okay, so this is clear. Okay, now what you can do is, now what we are going to do is, we are going to send and we are going to see one more tool called Postman. So this is one of the tool which is mostly used to check your APIs. So you wrote some APIs, you want to check it, right, whether it is perfectly working fine or not. So instead of using this Chrome, what you can use is, you can use this Postman. So Postman is like a kind of software which will be available for you. It is also a Chrome extension, so you can directly install from your Chrome. The installation will be too easy. If someone stucks in the installation, if you are not able to install that, kindly ping me so that I can help you on that, or just tell me like this is not happening. The next call we can say it into that. Installation is too like straightforward. Okay, so now we have installed our thing. So this all will not be visible for you guys. So all came just because I'm working with this frequently. So what you need to do is, you need to do a new collection. Okay, we need to group everything into a same folder, right? So we'll do some folding stuff. Same we are going to do over here. You are going to do some collection, and then you are going to do some name like a demo or something, a name which you want to give. Whatever name you want to give, you can give it over here. Okay, then you can do a cancel, like for now I don't want to give a cancel, you can do a create. So it will be created. I'll do something called, I already have a demo, so I will do something called demo one, and I will create. So once you created, it will be showing over here, so you can see it is like empty. Okay, then what you can do is, you need to click here, and you can do add a request. So it will add a request to it. Okay, so if you add a request, it will be similar to what you can see over here. Okay, you will have everything empty, and this name will be something which is not suitable for you. What you can do is, you can do a rename, and you can do a sample get or whatever name which you want to give for that particular API. Okay, and the things you want to change here is like, what is the method you want to hit. It is a get, post, or put. These are the methods available for you. So this example is only about get, so I'm selecting this get method. And what is the API you want to hit? I want to hit to my HTTP localhost 5000 over where my server is running. And now we changed it to /welcome. So I'm putting /welcome now. Okay, on the back of my HTTP localhost 5000 and /welcome. This is what I'm going to hit. Okay, this is the place I'm going to hit, and then I'm going send. Okay, if I send it now, you can see the hello world is returning back to me. Okay, this is how you can hit and check whether your get API is working or not with this Postman tool. Okay, and let's say I want to hit a post request. What I can do is, I can select a post, I can hit it over here, and you can see you will get a 405 method, 405 as your output code. Okay, you can see the status as 405 method not loaded. So this welcome is for get, but we are using with the post, so it is telling this method is not loaded. If I change it again to get, and if I hit it again, you can see over here 200 and okay, and you can see our output is coming. Using this tool only, we'll going forward, we'll check everything with this tool only, called Postman. Okay, so install this tool also, so it will be very useful for your API testing. Now we have just wrote a now just we are just welcoming someone over here, like we are just giving like a hello world. Now let's say I want to do a welcome, and then I want to say I want to give a name. So I want to write a code which takes a name from the client, and I want to print like welcome that particular name. which is given from the user. Okay, to do so, what we are going to do is we are going to write something here. So this line is same. So we are again changing to welcome, and the method name whatever you want you can give. I'm just copy pasting it, so it is coming as hello world. And you can see this one line has been added to you. So if you see here, I have added one more line called request or arguments dot get. Okay, this is to get the argument which is posted from the user. So in the Google search we have seen, right, q equal to what is the search we have given. So that is something called arguments. So in the get request, what you can do is you can pass some arguments to your along with your request. So I'm going to pass the name. So what you can do is you can type something, what are the names you want to pass and what are the values you want to pass. So you can do like this. For now, I'm just going to pass only the name. So I've written in the parameters, I'm just written the key equal to name and the value equal to the value. So this is the key value pair. The key is name and the value is my name. So I'm going to pass this one to this API. Okay. And now if you see, if I have selected, like if I have unticked this, the URL is just like that. Like what is the endpoint we are going to hit. If I select my parameter which I want to say go along with the URL with respect to get, you can see after a question mark you can get name equal to and the key equal to that value. If I add one more parameter, you can have it after this ampersand, like after this and symbol you will get another key value pair. If you add one more key value pair, it will be coming along with your URL. So this is why the get is not secure. Everything which you are sending as a parameter, it will be available in your URL. So get is not widely used for secure kind of stuffs. Okay. So now what we are doing is we are passing this parameter called name, which is equal to my name, into our endpoint. Okay. Now in our client side, what we need to do is we need to somehow read this name, which is coming from this endpoint, which is coming from this get, which is coming from my parameter, and then need to print it back or need to return back to the client. So since we are sending this one into the parameters, to read from the parameters, this line is useful for you. So you need to have something called request. So request will be available from Flask. So inside my Flask package, I'm going to request this object. So using this request, what I'm going to do is in this there's arguments. In this arguments, get this name for me. So I'm telling in this request object. So request is what is the request which you are getting? You are getting a request object, and then request object get the name alone to me. So I'm reading the name from the parameters. Okay, now my name is read from the request. Now I'm returning welcome and that particular name. So what is the name I need to return? I'm just returning. So it is like a typical print string with the functions. Okay, function string. Okay, now I'm saving my file. So it is rerunning again. So if I hit welcome now with my name, you can see welcome and my name is coming. If you change this name, and you can see the name is reflecting for you now. So whatever we are giving from the parameter are like parameters, we are reading from here. Okay, and to get even more understanding on this, so what I will do is I will do a debug point. I will debug this. Okay, I stopped my running mode. I have started in my debug mode. Now my whole application is running in my debugger console. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, did someone has any doubt? No, right? So now I'm going to hit this particular API and then I'm going to pass some value to us. So unless until this API is not written, it won't execute this line of code. Okay. Now I'm sending this request from my postman. Okay. So you can see my line of execution has been came around here. Okay. And this request is something you can see from here. This is your request object. And if I go through this whole object, it will be a little difficult for you. Okay, this is your request object, and like remember like that, and you have this arguments. From this arguments you can see whatever we passed over there, right, with the name, and my name is what I passed from there, so which we are getting here. So if you pass some other parameters here, this all is going to come inside your request.args object. So inside this arguments, you will get everything. So what I'm going to do is inside this request arguments, I'm going to get something called name. So I'm going to get this something called name. So what it will return back me is what is the name which I have given in my parameters from my API. So I got my name back to me, and this is my name. Okay, so this is my name. Now what I'm going to do back is I'm going to return saying that welcome that particular name. So this is going to return a string. Okay, this string is going to come over here. So this is the response which you are getting from back from the server. You are getting welcome and that particular name which you are given, and we are having a status code of 200. Okay, which states, which means my API has been executed without any errors. So far, any doubts? Just yeah, is it clear or no doubts? I didn't hear you correctly.
No doubts.
Okay, so you are clear with how you can pass some parameters and arguments. Okay, and I still have the same question. Are you guys already know how to write API, or this is the first time you are seeing that?
Yeah, I have a small doubt.
Ah.
In that Postman at the top, after get welcome question mark name equal to Rahul something. Here it will get automatically from the code, or we have to give it manually.
No, this is your request page. Like you have to give manually. Okay, so this all you can understand when you once you come with front end code. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, just try to imagine and try to sync with that. Okay, you have your like you have your FB application opened with you, so it will ask you your username. Okay, right? You will type your username. So you are typing in a UI, which is your user interface. You are typing using a keyboard. That value will be available into your username box, text box. Till now, you are clear?
Yes.
Okay, so you wrote that value into a text box. So this will be available into your JS variables. Till now you are clear, right? So you have already done with some calculators or some app with JS. So till now you are clear. You can how you can put this value into a JS variable. So now this username is something you typed on your application and you are storing into a JS variable. And what you can do is you can call this API from the JavaScript. Okay, while calling for this name parameter, you can give your name called Shivadanush. So what is the name which you entered in your drop down? So it's going to come ultimately sit inside this one. You can do it using your JS code. So this name which you type saved into a JSON like JS variable, you can do like you can put this JS variable name over here and you can call this API so that whatever the user enters, right, it will come and automatically sits over here and it will go to your server and you can log in. Now you are somewhat clear how these values are popping up at the end of the day. Right now
Yes,
we are
yes.
giving manually. Right now I'm giving manually. I'm typing this value. Okay. But when your whole integration of your UI as well as your backend sits together, this value will be coming from the user input. Clear? And also the same question. Did anyone already knows how to write an API, or is this the first time you are going through, guys? Can you all tell me yes or no? I just need from everyone.
It's first time.
Okay.
First time, sir.
Okay.
First time, sir.
Okay. I got 3 response.
First time, sir.
Okay. How about others? Do you already know how to write an API and do you know what is an API? Or this is your first time?
It's the first time.
Okay, pretty much everyone on first time, and you are clean. You can understand cleanly in the first time. I don't. It is miracle for me. One thing I am not cleanly explaining you, or you have doubts and you are not asking to me, or in the worst case scenario, you understand everything correct. I don't know what is happening now. But if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, I'm ready to help you on that. So you are clear with this get API, right? So this parameters where it will come into picture. So I've given an example now. So when our user types input, those inputs you can somehow do some magic code in your JS JavaScript, which is I'm just giving as a JS. It is going to change. This UI language will going to change. I think so. You know JS a little, so going with JS. Okay. So this JavaScript is going to take the value from your text box and going to put into this API. So from here we are going to hit the value. So this is how your arguments and your parameters will be very useful. What you can do is you can create a calculator using your API. You can have a API called API name instead of welcome. What you can do is you can have something called add, and you can read two inputs, two values, value 1, value 2 in your parameters. You can read this value and you can result back the add to the client. Okay, this is also possible using this get API. I hope till now you guys are clear. So I'm going to my next topics. Okay, so we'll go to next example. So right now what you have seen is we have seen only our get. Okay, right now we have seen only the get method. So now we are going to see the save method. Okay. Oh my god, I am going to stop this debugger. Okay, now what we are going to see is we are going to see our post method. Okay, so as I already told you, post method is little secure from get. It will not put everything into your URL. So this post method is not going to put your name into your URL. So the implementation of post is little different from your get. Okay, so what you can do is you can add again another request from using this add request drop down, and you can get a sample post. Okay, I got the sample post, and this is a post method, so it is coming as a post. Okay, so I changed it to post. Okay, I'm going to do a post request. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save something. So just for namesake I'm saving, but I'm not actually saving to anywhere, just to tell you example of where this post method will be. At the end of the day it will be useful. So again I'm going to hitting to the same my host, and my endpoint name is now going to be saved. Imagine this is your typically FB register page. Okay, you are going to register, which in the case you are going to save your data, user details like username, password, and other things to him. Okay, so if you put it inside parameters, whatever you put inside parameters, it will be visible over here. So, but you cannot do this, right? You cannot save your, like, you cannot send the password in the URL, and your network provider can easily read it, and anyone can cleanly hack it and read it, so it will not be a secure one. So whenever you are doing a post, or else you are doing a post, where you need to go is you need to go somewhere, a place called body. Imagine a request has a body. Okay, it has something same kind of a body. So whatever you give inside this body will not be visible in your URL, and it will not be read by anyone. So only the server can read it, no one else in the middle, right? Some kind of a guy, or like a network provider, someone cracks your API, they cannot easily read it. uh, Typically a hacker, well-known hacker can crack an API, but a normal hacker with limited knowledge, or some third-party guy who don't have any knowledge cannot read what is available in your body. Okay, so to send some values into your body, so you have some kind of actions over here. So we'll go through this one by one. For now, just we are going to use this raw. So select this raw, and in this drop down, by default it will be text. Okay, but you need to change it something called JSON. So JSON is kind of a one of data format. Okay, it is like a data format, like a data format. So JSON is like universal converted format. Like, you can read JSON value from any language, and you can save any data into a JSON. Okay, it is similar to your JavaScript objects and dictionaries in your Python. You can see similar things, right? Curly braces open, curly braces close, and you have a key, and you have a colon, and you have a value pair. So this is how your JSON data structure will look like. JSON structure will look like you have a curly brace open and curly brace close, and you have a key, and you have a colon, and you have a value for that. And let's say I want to give something again, so you need to put a comma, and then you have again one more key, and you can say, like, say this is my password, and I can say this is my value for my password, this is my pass. Okay, so this is how a typical JSON will look like. Okay, this is kind of a file format. Okay, so mostly we'll be using only JSON formats, none of the formats other than that we are using, just because you can read JSON from any language, and it can be convertible into objects. You can do any stuff. So it is like an intermediate language which you can have if you are talking to a different programming language. So JSON is one of the intermediate data type, and you can have something called XML, which is also available, but we won't use much of XML. We'll be going with only JSONs. Okay. Currently, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give my name, key, and my value. So I don't have anything. So I need to take this comma or it will throw me an error. So I remove this comma. So this is my JSON value. And now I'm going to hit my API. So now we have our post request ready. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do our changes over here. So the first change which we need to do over here is the method name save, and this is of post type, right? So by default it will take it as a get type, so we need to change it as post type. So we change method equal to post. So this is how we change the method equal to post. And now you have already know, right? We are just saving it as a JSON. So this request.json is going to give you back the result as JSON. Okay, this response.json will give you the whole JSON response which you are given from the client. Okay, and from the JSON is similar to Python dictionary, I told you. Okay, and in the previous session we have seen how to get a particular value from the dictionary. We need this name. Okay, so this dictionary, like I saved it, the JSON value into a data, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the name from that. I'm going to save it into a variable called name, and again I'm going to return the welcome and name again back to the client. Okay, so I'm just saving it and I'm hitting it now. Okay, I forgot to run my server. We have stopped it, right? So now we have started our server and I'm hitting it now. You can able to see welcome, my name is coming. Let's say I put something, I'm just going to hit it and that particular name is coming. Now your it is not going through a URL, so it is safe. And this is how you can send a value into a JSON body, and this is how you can read a value from the JSON body. Okay, this kind of stuff will be very useful when you are doing authentications. Like you will get username and password from the user, and you will check whether the user is authenticated or not. You can return back like this user is authenticated or this user is not authenticated, something like that. You can respond back. Clear with this post request? Anyone having any doubt?
It works with any input type.
Okay, good question. So works with any input type. In JSON, right? You have some types only allowed. Okay, you can have it as numbers, or you can have it as string, and you can have it as a boolean. Okay, I think mostly these three are allowed, and maybe I will confirm you on the next session what are the data types which are available. You need to somehow send all the serializable type of things. So you can send only the serialized data. You can send something my age, let's say I'm just 10 or just namesake. So I can send it as 10 and I can read here as 10. So it will give me as integer. All the serialized data types are, you can send it back. So there are some non-serialized data types, like this none in Python is not serialized. Okay, and if you're sending some objects, and let's say if you're sending some list and other stuffs that those are not serializable, then it will throw you error. Okay, serializable something like you can convert it into a file, you can save it into a file, and then you can read back again into a file, and you can end up into a same state. You can end up into a same instance, I can say. Clear? You are clear or still having doubts?
Yeah, for suppose if you have a combination of both letters and numbers.
Okay, combinations of both letters and numbers. In the case
Suppose
this,
we have a gift card means we have to both enter our serial number, right? Like X123.
you will go with string in that case, because you cannot save a string in the case of number, right? So ultimately you go with string on that case, both a number as well as a string. That will come as a string only. Okay. You cannot have A to B alphabets in integer type, and if you go A to B, it will go into a string type. So inside string, you are having some numbers into it. Any other doubts?
No, nothing else.
Okay. I think that's all for today. We have just seen only two APIs, how to do a get and how to do a post. Yeah, this is a basic of what is API and how you can write an API and how you can test an API. Hope that's all for today. If there are no doubts, I think we can close the call. The next session we'll go into some examples. We'll try to build on that. Build using our APIs on that example. We'll take a real-time scenario and we'll try to build on those scenarios. So this is your base. So if you have any doubts, you can feel free to ping me or you can ask me so that I can help you on that. Any doubts so far?
No doubts.
Okay. Anyone else? Any doubt? If there are no doubts, I think we can wind up for today and can connect back in the next week. I hope so. We can start writing APIs and then we can write some UI code to consume that API and to show it into the user. So I hope so we can start those activities on the next week.
Okay, thanks, Rahul. Thank
Okay.
you all.
Thank you. Thank you all.